it's worthy of discussing. The 200-pound, whatever, 180-pound non-weighed giant yellowfin.
So we're in the Pacific, and you find the spinner dolphin, and we had found this pod that had hundreds and hundreds, and they had babies, and they were moving nice and slow, and they had a ton of tuna following them. So you get ahead of where the dolphin are going, you get dropped in the water, and normally you take one deep breath and you go down right away, but luckily this school of dolphin was so massive, you could actually get half decent breathe up before you went down. And my first dive, I was diving by myself because my boyfriend had an ear infection. I dove down and I was kind of aiming at some smaller ones, and we had shot quite a few smaller ones at that point. And I was on my way up, and I saw the big ones come through at the end of the tuna school. So I got back in the boat, we did a reset, and this time I let half of the tuna school pass before I made my dive. And sure enough, those big tuna came through just like they did the drop before, and I got a really solid shot right behind the gill plate, really close. And I had I had not set this gun up for breakaway like I had set my other guns up. So my gun got ripped out of my hand and the float went off, and I had wrapped my line, and it actually pulled some line out of the reel, which kept the float above the water. And after I got the fish in the boat, I saw that my Dyneema had actually cut through parts of my reel, damaging it in a way that somehow didn't break my line. And my reel is still functional. But pretty lucky to have landed that fish. I have the whole thing on film. It was so big I couldn't even pull it up. I just got it as high as I could with the floats, and had the locals hoisted into the boat. But yeah, it was a pretty crazy experience. The local that took me out, he's been going out for years. He said it's the biggest tuna he's ever had on his boat. They primarily hook and line fish, but they take a lot of divers out too. So that was a pretty big deal. It was pretty awesome.